Hi students, welcome back to the video lecture on software engineering. So we have been discussing the coping with change concept. There we have discussed the first model, that is prototyping. So why we need prototyping? Because to reduce the cost of rework. So what is that rework? So rework means when my customer wants some changes into the existing software, there we need to accommodate the changing requirement of the customer. So for that changing requirement of the customer, we have to rework on a developed software. So to reduce the cost of rework, we have two models. The first one is prototyping model and the second one is incremental delivery. We have already discussed the prototyping in our last class. If you people have not gone through that, so just go to the description box, get the link and go to the prototyping model. So why we need that incremental model? Because of change tolerance. For the change anticipation, we have the software prototyping. For the change tolerance, we have the incremental delivery. So what is the problem in prototyping? If you will research on prototyping, you will find that the prototype is the demo version. There we are developing the demo version of the software for learning purpose, for understanding purpose. What we are going to do with that prototyping, that is we are going to deliver the prototype or the demo version to the customer. Then the customer will use the prototype. If there are some omission or there are some information that is wrongly mentioned, then the customer can ask for the changes. So what actually we did, we tried to guess the change before the customer come to us and ask for the change. So that is prototyping. So the problem is that while developing the prototype, we cannot use the prototype for the actual software. Take an example. Suppose I am going to buy a mobile. So there they have some demo versions or they have some demo mobile phones. So they can give us that demo version for use that or for to know what actually the model is or what are the features on that model. But we cannot use that demo version for actual purpose. We need our smartphone for what purpose that we cannot implement in the demo version. So the prototyping model, we are spending our time, we are putting our effort, we are putting our cost to develop a prototype, but that is a throwaway prototype. After reviewing the prototype, we are going to throw it away. We cannot use that prototype to develop the actual software. So we are developing the software in two phases. First phase, we are going to develop the prototype. There we need to remove the non-functional requirements. So what is that non-functional requirements? Like I have already told you, the time constraint, the budget constraint, what is the processing speed, what is the storage space, what are the data processing speed, what is the data transfer rate. So all these things are removed from the prototype model. But in case of actual software project, we need to add this non-functional requirement also. So there we need to put the service and the functionalities that my customer expect from the software, and we also keep in our mind what are the constraints, under which constraint we are going to develop the software. So that is the actual software development. By developing the prototype and by deploying the prototype to the customer, we are not going to fulfill our actual software. So whatever the time we have been spent for developing the prototype, that is actually not completely waste, but that is a waste. Because by developing a prototype, we may anticipate the change, but we cannot use that prototype for actual software. So therefore, we plan for developing something that we can use as the actual software. So that is incremental delivery. In case of incremental delivery, two terms comes into our mind, that is incremental development and incremental deployment or incremental delivery. So let's see what is that incremental delivery. what are the advantages and what are the phases in incremental delivery. So rather than deliver the system as a single delivery, the development and delivery is broken down into increments, with each increment delivering part of the requirement functionality. So what actually it's saying, we are dividing the total incremental delivery, or we are dividing the delivery system into two phases, that is development and delivery, and that is actually broken down into increments. So what is that increment actually? So whenever we are talking about a software, we have already discussed it many times. You just remember, whenever we are talking about a software, that software is consist of some subsystems. So we need to break down the software or the system into subsystems. Each subsystem is known as increment. We are not going to develop and deliver the system as a whole. So what we are going for? We are going for develop a small increment, that means a subsystem. Then we will deploy that subsystem to the customer. Once my first subsystem has been developed and delivered completely, then I will go for the second increment or the second subsystem. There we need to develop the second subsystem and we need to deliver the second subsystem to the customer. Then we will go for the third. So in this way, by developing the first, deploying the first, by developing the second, deploying the second, by developing the third, deploying the third. So in this way, in the incremental way, we are going to develop the whole system and we are going to deliver the whole system in an incremental manner. You can recall the waterfall model and the incremental model. There also, in case of waterfall model, we have to plan everything. What are my design phase, what are my implementation phase, what are my testing phase? We have to plan everything. After successful plan, we need to design the software, then we need to implement, then we need to deliver. So at the time of deliver, we are going to deliver the system as a whole. But in case of incremental model, what we have taken that example as CMS, there we have 3 subsystem of I think 4 subsystem, that is your admission, lesson plan, attendance and examination. So we will first work on admission. Once my admission process has been complete, then I will go for lesson plan. After the lesson plan, I will go for attendance, and after that I will go for examination. So what actually we concerned about? We are concerning on the increments. We are not concerned about the whole system. Once my first increment has done, I will deploy that first increment. Once my second increment is done, then I will deploy the second increment. So rather than delivering the system as a whole, actually we are developing and delivering the system as increments. So that is what incremental model. And the second thing says, user requirements are prioritized and the highest priority requirements are included in early increments. That we have already discussed in the incremental model. So when we have encountered with the user requirement as the lesson plan, the attendance, the examination and the admission, then how could we know that we have to work on that admission first? Because the customer will prioritize the subsystem. The customer will tell us on which subsystem we are going to work on first. So that is, we know that admission is our first priority. So we will go for developing and deploying the admission first. Then the second priority goes to the lesson plan. So we have to work on the lesson plan after the admission has completed. So what actually the incremental delivery says, that is, first point is, rather than delivering the system as a whole, we are going to develop and deploy the system as increments. And the second point says, as we are dividing the system into different subsystems, so how could we know that we are going to work on this subsystem? What is the priority? So we need to prioritize all the subsystem, all the increments, and according to the priority, we are going to work on the increments. And the third point says, once the development of an increment is started, the requirements are frozen. Mark this word, the requirements are frozen, though requirements for later increments can continue to evolve. So what actually this says? This says that when we are working on some particular increment, there my customer is not allowed to change, or the customer is not allowed to ask for any change. So when we are working on admission increment, admission is actually an increment, then your attendance is another increment, then lesson plan is another increment. So when we are working on admission, my customer cannot ask for any changes into the admission. The later increments are what? Your attendance, your lesson plan, your examination. So customer can ask for changes in attendance. Suppose in the requirement elicitation phase, he has wrongly mentioned something. So in that time, when we are working on admission increment, the customer can ask for any changes into your attendance, your lesson plan and your examination. But the customer cannot ask for any changes into the admission, because we have been frozen the requirement. Once my customer elicited all his requirements, we log that requirement when we are working on that increment. So after working on admission, we will go for attendance or we will go for lesson plan. Suppose I am working on lesson plan, so that time the customer cannot ask any changes into the lesson plan, but the customer can ask some changes into the admission and attendance. So that's what is saying, that when we are working on a particular increment, there the requirements are frozen. We cannot change anything. Once we have developed, or once we will go for next increment, then we can accommodate the changes. But while developing, while designing, while implementing, we cannot ask for any changes. So that's it saying. So what actually we have learned? We have learned that in the incremental delivery, we are dividing the process into two phases, that is incremental development, incremental delivery. Two terms comes into our mind, incremental development, incremental delivery. And the second point says we have to prioritize all the increment, then according to the priorities we are going to work on that increment. And the third point says while working on some particular increment, we have to frozen the requirements so that any disturbance will not create there. So let's see what is incremental development and what is incremental delivery. So incremental development, so we have to develop the system in increments. So here you can consider this increment as subsystem. And after developing the system in increments, we have to evaluate each increment before proceeding to the development of the next increment. Obvious. So when as we divide the system into subsystems, so that means there we are creating some more space. If there will be not any evaluation system or there will be no review system, then why we are dividing the system into subsystems? We divide the system into subsystem because we need more involvement from the customer. The first increment developed, we will deploy the first increment to the customer. The customer will review it, evaluate it, and once my customer is satisfied with my first increment, then we will go for developing the second increment. So that's what actually it's saying. So it's saying that before going to next increment, we should evaluate our first increment from the customer side. And the next point says normal approach used in agile method. Obviously we know that agile method is what? That is incremental development. In case of incremental model, the incremental model can be plan driven, can be agile. Don't confuse in these terms. The incremental model, the incremental delivery, those are different. Incremental model is one type of model. When we have learned the software process model, that is waterfall model, incremental model, reuse software engineering model. So that is completely different from incremental delivery. Incremental delivery is a process. How we are going to deliver the software to the customer. That is a process. So actually in case of agile method, we are using this process. This incremental process has been implemented in agile method. Incremental model is different. Incremental model can be plan driven or it may be agile. So that is completely different. You should remember all those things. These are the small terms, but you should remember this. These are actually confusing. So we know that what is process, what is model. Incremental model is different. Incremental delivery is another process. So we need to remember this. So in this agile method, the incremental development approach is actually normal. Next, the evaluation done by user customer proxy. So what is that proxy? So whenever you are quite familiar with this, whenever your best friend is absent in your class, then you are making a proxy for that attendance. So that is a proxy. So what actually that means, user and customer proxy here? So evaluation done by user or customer proxy. So user or customer proxy means there is a middleman who is always present in the software development company. Every time we don't need to give the increment to the customer for the review. We have some middlemen. There may be some client managers, there may be some contract managers. That means they are middlemen in between the company and the customer. They know the customer in a better way than us. We are the developing team. We are not going to directly contact to the customer. So we have some middlemen. They will contact to the customer. So they know better than us. So they can evaluate the increments. So rather than giving the increments to the customer, because the customer is not technically sound, if we are going to deliver the increment to the proxy man, then he will able to review it more correctly than the customer. So we have some proxies or we have some customer proxies, that is your middleman. He can evaluate the increments, each and individual increments, and he can give us the reviews. How we are going to change or how we are going to accommodate the changes with a reduced cost. So that is incremental delivery. So what we learned? We learned that we have to develop the system in increments, and before going to develop the next increment, we have to successfully complete our first increment. We are going to develop the first increment, then we will give it to the customer proxy for the review. So the next is incremental delivery. So what is that incremental delivery? So incremental delivery means deploy an increment for user by end users. So here comes the end users. So before deploying the increment to the end users, we have some customer proxy, and after getting the review and accommodating the changes of the customer proxy, then we will go for the actual deployment, and that is by our end users. And the next is more realistic evaluation about practical use of software. So what does that mean, realistic evaluation and more realistic evaluation actually? Because when we are giving the increment to the customer proxy, the customer proxy is not going to use that software. The customer proxy is a middleman who in between the software development team and the customer. But who will actually use that software? Obvious, that end user. So when we are deploying the increment to the actual end user, then the actual end user can ask for some changes. Then we can accommodate the changes. Then obvious, my software is going to meet the more realistic end users requirement. So that is what actually it's saying. And the next is difficult to implement for replacement system. So what is that replacement system? Okay, let us see this. First, difficult to implement for replacement system as increments. as it has less functionalities than the system being replaced. So what is that actually saying? It's saying whenever we are going for replacement something. So take an example, suppose we have a software and we have a database. So what is that software meant for? Whenever a new student comes, then the database will modified with the new system. Now our college want to replace the software with a new one. So what is that problem if we are going for incremental delivery? So in case of incremental delivery, we are going to develop and deploy the system as increments. So when we will deploy a small increment to the college is not going to use both the software. Both software means the old software and the new software. It is not possible to update both the database. The old software has some database and the new software has some database. So it is not possible to update both the database. Either we will go for updating the old database or we will go for updating the new database. So there, that means we want to replace our old software with the new. So there we want the system to be delivered as a whole. Once my system is delivered as a whole, I can drop the old software and I can start using the new software. But if my new system or my new software is going to deliver into increments, then I cannot use the new software because there are some features as we are deploying the software as increments. We are combining or we are taking some functions, we will work on that and we will deploy that increment to the customer. So the college is not going to use both the software. So in case of replacement, there will be some problem in case of incremental delivery. We cannot replace an old software by using the incremental delivery. There we need to deploy the system as a whole. So that is the problem in incremental delivery. So let's see the diagram how we are going to possess the incremental delivery. What are the phases? How we are going to develop the increments and how we are going to deploy the increments. So in case of incremental delivery, first we have to define the outline requirements as we have already discussed. Next we have to prioritize that requirements. So the second step here, assign requirements to increments. So here we have to prioritize all increments. Then we need to design system architecture. We have already discussed what is the requirement, what is the design. After obviously after completion of requirements, we are going to design the system architecture. And after the system architecture has been designed, we need to develop the system or we need to implement the system. So here we have some increments those increments has already been prioritized. Then we have to take the first increment or the first prioritized increment. Then we will go for developing the system increment. So consider here we are going to develop our first increment. Then after developing the first increment, we will go for validate that increment. So validate increment means here we need the customer proxy to validate the increment. That means we need some middleman to validate what actually my customer requirement and what I have already developed, that is actually meet the customer requirement or not. So after validate the increment by the customer proxy, then we will go for integrating increment. Then after that we will go for validate system. So what is that integrate increment? That means if we have 4 to 5 increment, then we need to, at the second increment, we need to integrate the second increment with the first increment. Then validate system means after integration of first and second increment, we have to validate the whole system. Then we will go for deploy the increment. That means we are going to deliver the increment to the customer. After delivering or deploying the increment to the customer, there we need to ask a question, that is the system incomplete or system complete. If the system is incomplete as we are here, we have been worked for the first increment and there are 3 more increment left. So that means the system is incomplete. Then we will go here, develop the system increment. Which increment? Obvious, the second increment. Then after working on the second increment or after developing the second increment, we will go for validate here the second increment. Then we will go for integrate increment. That means now we are developing the second increment and we have already developed the first increment. So we need to merge the first increment and the second increment together. So by merging the first increment and the second increment together, we have a new system. So there we need to validate the system. Again we will go for deploy the increment. Then we will again ask system complete or incomplete. System is incomplete. Then we will go for working on the third increment. So as the third increment has been developed, then we will go for validating the increment. So this is the process. There is a loop. Until and unless my system is complete, we have to work on each and individual increment. Then after developing the third increment, we will go for validating the individual third increment. Once my third increment has been validated, then we need to merge that third increment to the previous system. So what is that previous system? In the previous system, we have increment 1 and increment 2. Now we need to integrate the third increment into the previous system. Then we have a new system where 3 increments are there. Then we need to validate the system. Then we need to deploy. After deploying the third, then we will ask, is my system is complete or my system is incomplete? If my system is incomplete, then I will go and check if there are some other increments or not. Then I will work on fourth increment. Like that, we are going to develop and deploy the whole system as increments. Once my system is complete, there we need to stop. Then we will go for evaluation phase. So this is what actually the incremental model is. So let's see what is the advantages of the incremental model. The first advantage of the incremental model is customer value can be delivered with each increment. So system functionalities is available earlier. I hope you people are getting this point. This means when we are delivering the increments to the customer, that means we are getting more customer value. The customer will know each and every functionality that involves to each and every increments in earlier. If we are working on first increment now, we are going to deploy the 7th increment after 1 month or 2 months. That means actually we are going to deliver the whole system after 7 months. But my customer knows what is the functionalities of my first increment. So that means we are getting more value from the customer. So that is the first advantages. The second point is early increments act as a prototype to help elicit requirements for later increments. So that actually I have been discussing from the beginning of this lecture. That means when we are working on prototyping model, there we cannot use the prototype as a development of a actual software. But here we are working on increments. That means we are developing the actual software but in an incremental way. So we can say the increments can be act as a prototype, but the prototype cannot act as an increment because we are not going to use the prototype for actual software development. So we cannot say prototype is act as an increment. Prototype is a wastage. Prototype is going to throw away. But increments, we are not going to throw the increments away. We are using the increments to complete the system. So we can say each and individual increments can act as a prototype. That increment is a dummy model, but we are using that dummy model in case of actual software development. So that is actually what actually an advantage. If I am going to throw away the increment, then what is the advantages here? Nothing. By getting the customer changes and by accommodating the changes, that is not actually what we want. We want to accommodate the customer changes with the reduced cut, and we also want to use that increment. We are not wasting here anything. So that is actually what an advantages of incremental model. And the next is lower risk of overall project failure. Obvious, we are deploying the each and individual increment to the customer. Once my first increment has been completed, then only I will go for second increment. Then only I will go for third increment. So when we are going to deliver the last increment, that means we have already overcome all the failures. All the changes what my customer wants, I already accommodate those changes. So there is obvious a lower risk of project failure. My software may be failed or my software is going to fail maybe, but the complete software cannot be failed, as we are developing the software with the customer's consent. We are asking every time the customer what is your requirement. If you want some changes, then you can ask for. Then according to the customer, we are working on that. So there is a low risk of the total software project failure. So these are the advantages of the incremental delivery. You just compare the prototype model and the increment delivery, then you can find some disadvantages of the incremental delivery. So this is up to you. You can make your own notes. You can prepare what is the disadvantages of the incremental model. So in our next class, we will go for another actually a beautiful model that is comprises of both the prototype and the incremental model, that is spiral model. So till then, have a nice day and thank you.